Hello everyone, today I'm gonna talk about creating start files for Creo. To start with, let's go to Creo and create a new file. Start files can be created for any of the format types, and I'm gonna talk about the part and assembly today. So let's start with part. The file name doesn't matter, uncheck the use default template and make an empty template. So it's empty right now, it doesn't have any features. So basically for all my start files I would prefer to have a default coordinate system and x, y and z planes. In order to do that, go to datums, click on offset planes, and it creates the default coordinate system, and it tries to create the xyz plane based off of the default. So I'll give 0 offset for all three. Click OK, and it creates the three planes, and I'm gonna just rename them to x, y and z. Another thing that I would like is to change the units. So go to file, prepare model properties, and the units are inch, pound, second. So I would prefer to keep it at kg second. Click OK, convert dimensions OK, and close. So it's this kg second. If you have any other preferences, you can go ahead and do that, materials or any other features that you want, but basically all my parts I would prefer to keep the units and starting datums consistent. So this is good for me right now, and I'm gonna save this as so I have a start part folder. Maybe I'll just name this as start part. I'll overwrite this existing file. Click OK. So I have that folder where I created the start part. I'm gonna close this. So control W is control and W. That's a shortcut that I use for closing all the windows. Then go to options under file, go to config editor and click find. And you need to search for template for part. So temp star part, and it will give you some templates. So the solid part, sheet metal part, so both I can use the same thing. So I'm gonna go click on that start part. So this is the start part that we just created. It's under tutorial start part. Click add change. Same thing for sheet metal solid part also. I'm gonna do that. Click on start part, open, add change, and click close. And if they click OK, it's saying that it's not, the config is not saved under the config.pro. So it's better to save it. For this tutorial purpose I'm not gonna save this, but to go ahead. So in order to check, let's create a part. If I click part, by default it pulls up all the default coordinates and xyz planes that we just created. And to check the units, it's kg second. So this is working fine. Similarly we can do for assembly. So for assembly also, what I did is we can create an empty assembly file and start creating the datums with default and x, y and z. So here it's called a datum 1, so I'll call it x, y and z. And the same thing with units also, I want everything to be consistent, so everything is in kg second. Click set, okay. Yeah, so close out of that. Then what I'll do is I'll save this again in that same folder. So I have a start underscore assembly file, and I'll just overwrite that existing file. Then go to options, again config, and then find temp star asm. So it's the design assembly file. So where I'll go to that folder, select the start assembly.asm, click open, add change. So it's taken up, and click OK. The same thing, whenever you change anything in the config, it prompts you to save the config file. For the purpose of the tutorial I'm not saving it, but it's better that you save the config file so that when you close Pro E and then open the Creo window back again, it pulls all the settings that you wanted to do. Let's close out of this, try creating a new assembly and see if it works. Use default template, and by default it should pull XYZ default, and the units also should be default mmkg second. Perfect. So similarly you can do it for any other types. All the templates are available under the config file. So if you are doing drawing, manufacturing, sketches, layouts, it's the same way that we can do for all the other formats. Okay, so that wraps up the start part. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Take care.